Hey everyone, it's Antonio Thornton, the Profit Engineer here with another daily reminder for you. And today's daily reminder is to set yourself up for success. And I talked about this briefly in another video, but as always, lessons keep coming and keep coming, and I love to share them whenever I can. So recently I was at an event where at someone's home, and a lot of us were sitting around just talking, having a really interesting conversation. And one gentleman was talking, another guy had to get up and walk off. I guess he had to go to the restroom or something. But as he did, so he took his glasses off and he sat them on the seat that he was sitting in. And when he walked off, they were right at the edge of the seat. So as this other person was talking, I stood up and walked over to that seat and just kind of gently pushed the glasses further into the seat so that they wouldn't fall off onto the floor. And then I went back and sat down, and the guy kept talking, etc. And then something just kind of hit me. And so I got up again, walked back over, picked the glasses up off the chair, and then sat them on the table. And everyone's like, what is this guy doing with this other man's glasses? So, and I'll share with you my thought process. So the first thing was, obviously with the glasses being on the edge of the chair, I said, well, okay, well, let me just move them back so they won't fall onto the floor. Then I went back and sat down, and as I was sitting there, I said to myself, you know what? Let me actually pick these glasses up and move them. And I'll tell you why I did that. One of the main reasons why I did that I'll share a separate story with you to explain this one. But one of the main reasons why I did that is because, or it's as a result, I would say, of me never dropping my phone in the toilet. I've never dropped my phone in the toilet. I've got several friends who've dropped their phone in the toilet, had to get new phones, etc. But I've never dropped my phone in the toilet. Why? Not because I've got, magic hands or what's the guy who catches the football with one hand all the time? I don't remember his name. Doesn't matter. But anyway, it's not because of that. It's because I don't take my phone into the bathroom. I just don't take my phone in the bathroom. And because I don't take my phone into the bathroom, there's a 100% guaranteed chance or 100% likelihood that I will never drop my phone in the toilet because I don't take it into the bathroom. So with that being the case, that was kind of the thought process that I had with getting up twice, because they were like, why does he keep getting up and moving these glasses? So the first thing was, obviously, we didn't want the glasses to fall onto the floor, because if someone would have, they were so close that if anyone just would have brushed up against the chair he was sitting in, they would have fallen onto the floor. But when I moved him back, I thought about it again, and I said, well, wait a minute. What if he comes back and he might be on his phone or doing something or talking to someone else, and he ends up sitting down in the chair and sitting on the glasses? Well, here's the reality of it. There's a 100% chance or a 0% chance. Let me say that more accurate. There's a 0% chance of him sitting on his glasses if his glasses are on the table, because he's not going to just go jump on the table, right? And there's a likelihood that he could have sat on his glasses if I would have left them there. So I said, well, let me go ahead and move these glasses. So and I did. And he didn't think much about it when he came back. But the fact of the matter is that, one, his glasses did not fall on the floor, and two, he didn't sit on them. Now, was it likely that either of those would have happened? Who knows? Who knows? But here's what ended up happening. When I moved them, it became a 0% chance of those things happening. A 0% chance of the glasses falling off the chair onto the floor if someone would have bumped him, and because then the conversation would have been, well, whose fault was it? He left him there, someone bumped him. Doesn't matter. But the fact that they removed the opportunity for them to fall. So what's the lesson here? What's the lesson for you? Is find ways that you can set yourself up for success, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships, or whatever the case may be. Like, one of the things that I was talking with a couple of friends of mine who are in a couple. They're a couple, and one of the things they do quite often is a date night, and they do about 3 or 4 times a month. It's not every week, but it's very intentional. But it's about 3 or 4 times a month they will do a date night. Now, that's setting yourself up for success. That's setting yourself up for success. That's putting in place the things that will facilitate success in your life. What other areas can you set yourself up for success? So, like, for example, do you find yourself rushing to work every morning? You get up at whatever time and you hit the snooze, hit the snooze, hit the snooze. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, it's 7:10. I got to be to work at 8. So you got to get up, eat, brush your teeth, throw on your clothes and shoot down the expressway. And then, potentially causing an accident, potentially getting a ticket for speeding, and then potentially being late for your job because you got this, 6:15 alarm that you keep snoozing for an hour. So how can you set yourself up for success in that environment? How can you set yourself up for success? Well, you can go to sleep earlier, right? You can set your alarm for much earlier in the day so that you're actually up. So maybe you set your alarm for 5:30. Get up, possibly consider doing some yoga, consider doing some meditation or something of that nature where you're now taking you're now taking that time that you would normally have been scrambling, that time that you normally have been rushing, and you've created an environment of peace. You've created an environment of peace. And then guess what that does when you go to work? Now you've created an environment that you arrive to work on time, you arrive to work safe, you arrive to work in a state of peace. And then guess what that does? Now you end up having a better day. You end up having a better day now because of that very thing. So what other areas or like I said, I would say the daily reminder for you is to actually identify other areas that you can make some simple adjustments, just simple adjustments in your life. I think I talked about this a couple years ago about my daily escapade of getting my kids on time, picking my kids up from school. And it was literally just changing the alarm that I set for myself to leave 2 minutes earlier. 2 minutes earlier. And that 2 minutes changed my arrival, my state of mind when I arrived. And it also positively impacted my relationship with my kids because I wasn't frustrated. I wasn't beeping and horn and shifting in and out of traffic and all the other stuff. I was in a much better state of mind to be present to my kids. Literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes made that much of a difference. So look at what may be going on in your life and areas that you may be having less than desirable results, and ask yourself, what can you put in place? What can you put in place to set yourself up for success in that area? What things can you do that gives you more likelihood of that thing becoming successful than a less likelihood? Now, he could have come in. Going back to the room again. He could have come in the room, like I said, not been paying attention, bumped into the table, and knocked the glasses on the floor. Now, there was less likely to happen because of the type of table it was, but he could have even done that. But what I will tell you for sure is that he would have never sat on that table and inadvertently sat on his glasses. So these are things you want to take in consideration when you're doing whatever you're doing in your life, is again setting yourself up for success and giving yourself more likelihood of whatever you're doing to be success than not. So anyway, guys, that's it for today's daily reminder. As always, my reminder to you is to like, share, and comment on these videos, and I love to keep them coming. And I will do that as I see you guys are wanting more of this information. So anyway, take care, and I will sign off and look to see you soon.